I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on GBM, we're taking young readers on a fun, heartwarming, and unexpected journey of friendship. The name of the book we're talking about today is Don't Go Past the Big Palm Tree. It's written by a terrific author. Her name is Sidney Saeger, and in the book, she introduces us to Gabby the Gator and Ted the Turtle, two unlikely friends who overcome fear and prejudice to form a special bond. With rhythmic storytelling and vibrant Florida landscapes, and important lessons about empathy, this charming children's book entertains while gently teaching kids to look beyond fear and embrace friendship. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her on TV today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her beautiful book. The links are below this interview. Sidney, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's
I
my
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
I think I know a little bit about your inspiration for this book because every now and then we see these stories in Florida where huge alligators wind up on golf courses or in people's backyards. And so, was that a little bit of your inspiration?
Well, a little bit of your story, um, except the alligator in my case was a very small one, which made me think it was either a baby alligator or a very young alligator. So I was walking along a path that went along a canal, part of the park system, very safe, and down on one of the big pipes that are used for irrigation and so forth, there was a small turtle and a small alligator, with the alligator resting its head on the turtle, and quite a distance. I did get a picture, but because it's so far away, it's a bit grainy. And it just struck me that day. Isn't that something that we have this two different animal species and they get along so well that they're helping each other to take a nap? They're sharing this irrigation pipe, um, that while they bask in the sun. And why can't we get along as well as that? And so that was the inspiration for my story right there.
Well, that's an awesome real life inspiration for your story. Also, central to your story is overcoming fear and prejudice. Talk to us about that aspect of it.
Well, each one of the animals, Ted the turtle and Gabby the gator, each one had had a conversation with one of their parents, and the parents had warned them not to go past the big palm tree because, in one sense, there are gators about, and you must beware of their snip, snap, snout. And with the other animal, um, there are turtles in the blue. You must beware of their chomp, chomp, chew. So, as you can see, the book is a rhyming book. And so the prejudice from the parent started there, where they're warned. But isn't that what good parents do? Is to make sure your children don't get into any kind of danger. So from that point, though, each one of those animals went off on their own, swimming for the rest of the afternoon. And that to me was like in years gone by. I don't know about you, Logan, but in my childhood, when I was at a young age, I was allowed to go back into the woods by myself, take your bike and go around the block, go down a country road. Pretty much, there weren't the dangers that we had. So in this book also, our two characters have quite some freedom. They're going and swimming on their own for the whole afternoon. And as it happens, they do not heed their parents' warning, and they do go past the palm tree, and they
Mm.
do um, end up coming together. But instead of it being dangerous, they find out that they have more in common than they have to be afraid of.
It's great and great. That's a great metaphor for life. We have more in common than we have to be afraid of each other. So those are valuable lessons for children to learn. And I think they must love the rhyming aspect of it as well. I think kids always try to anticipate that next word, what's going to come next, what will the rhyme be? So I think that's a great way to engage them as well. Also, your art, your images in this book are wonderful. Tell us about the illustrations.
Um, it- I just started really into watercolor painting since I moved to Florida. And um, I was originally writing the book just for myself, for my granddaughter. And it turned out quite well. I thought that, the images that I had were first a little simplistic, but the more I played around with them and kind of discovered my style, um, I was I was encouraged to just be me, and it's my story, it's my pictures, and
Awesome.
and it turned out pretty well.
Well, that's great that you're able to write the book and do the artwork. Few authors can do that. So that's really, really terrific. What age group do you think this book is best for?
Because it's more of a poem, can it can go a longer, um, I think a bigger age group, but probably those who can read it would be kind of on the maybe first, second grade level, first, second, third grade. Um, I did have a teacher friend of mine who, again, when I was not going to do actually get the book published, I said, nobody does rhyming books anymore. It seems like they're all, just they're stories, they're not rhyming books. And she said, oh no, there's so many children these days that unfortunately don't get read to very often. And so they've missed the Dr. Seuss books and the P.D. Eastman books, and they don't know how to rhyme. And that's a detriment to their being able to read and develop their word recognition.
Sure.
So I said, oh, okay. Well, if the world needs another rhyming book, then I'll leave it in rhyme.
Well, I'm glad you did. I agree. I think children love it. I love it. I mean, parents generally have to read the books to their kids, particularly starting out. And a rhyming book can make it fun, a fun thing to read. And like I said, I think it exposes them to a lot of language and they have the anticipation of the next word. And I think it is good for their imaginations. Have you envisioned Don't Go Past the Big Palm Tree, perhaps as a children's animated feature or something like that?
I think it could be. It definitely could be. Um, I would think that Gabby and Ted would need a few more adventures, which
Mhm.
hopefully will come out. Um, Perhaps they're going to meet some new friends that
Right.
are even more different than them. Perhaps they're going to end up in um, some other dangerous situations, or maybe find a magical land somewhere or something. But as they grow and explore more, perhaps it could be.
Great. Are you envisioning those books? Are you working on a sequel or a number of sequels? Tell us about your writing.
I'm just in the envisioning stages where I'm thinking, okay, where can these characters go and what can they do? And so I'm just getting started on any sequels. Also coming soon, well, actually now I have a new website coming out that if anybody is so interested, they'd be able to find out what's happening with Gabby and Ted and um, any other new friends that come along. And that website is www.authorsidneysaeger.com. And that's Sydney with an
AuthorSidneySager.com. Yeah.
yeah, that's Sydney with an I.
Okay, got it. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, you said you originally wrote this book for your granddaughter.
Yes.
What was her reaction when she saw it in print and you got to read it to her?
She was just thrilled. She just couldn't believe that it finally happened because it took me quite a while, quite honestly. I would let it sit and stew and cook for a while. Um, Sometimes I would take some sentences out or put something back in, move some things around, and I just wasn't happy with it until I was. So every time I would read it to her, and then um, she would give me her opinion on it as
Mhm.
well. So that
Great.
really helped getting a child's point of view.
Absolutely. What's her name?
Her name is Lila.
Okay, so I say, hey, Lila, this is Grandma. She's doing a great job with this wonderful, wonderful book, and you helped. So that's terrific as well. So that's a little chat out to Lila there, your little inspiration. How old is she?
She is 8. She'll
She's eight
just be
years old.
going into third grade this next fall.
Awesome. That's perfect. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Well, are you retired?
I am. I retired 3 years ago. It doesn't seem like that long, after 40 years in the workforce, but um, so this is my retirement project. Definitely, definitely.
Awesome.
I
It's nice
wanted
to,
to mention another child's reaction. I have uh, a great nephew whose whose mother is my niece, who read the story to him, and then he took the book and absolutely had to go read the story himself out loud to his dog. And
oh,
I thought that was just wonderful that, his best friend he wanted to read the story to. So I thought that was um, a really, really, really nice compliment for the
sure. That's
story.
so charming. It's great to get that kind of feedback. And what's his name?
His name is Ivan.
Okay, we give Ivan a shout out too. Hey, Ivan, thanks for helping promote this book, especially to that beautiful dog of yours. Well, you've done great work on this book, Sydney. The name of it is Don't Go Past the Big Palm Tree. In it, she explores and introduces us to Gabby the gator and Ted the turtle, two unlikely friends who overcome fear and prejudice with a special bond. Sydney, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, Logan.
I appreciate your time, your wit, your wisdom, and your insight. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford for the Global Book Network. So long for now.